Before I get started, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I want to say shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, who we endure all things for, and shalom to all the sincere Akim wa Akwathium who believe in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. I say yet again, shalom. So the title is clear. The end is very clear to those with the eye salve, those with the spiritual eye, those who can actually see things for what they really are. And that's where we are today in Babylon the Great. Things are waxing worse financially, socially, economically, morally, and it's not going to get any better. And since we see all these things happening and everything is literally slowly but surely coming together for that great day of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, it's best to maintain our wired tight spirit at all costs. So let me get this in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 in the GNT, starting at the top. He answered, consider all these things very carefully. When you see that some of the signs I have told you about have appeared, you will know that the time has come when Yahweh, the Most High, will bring judgment on the world he has created. And we're going to see judgments happening upon the face of this earth. Things are already out of whack in the so-called Middle East. You have wildfires going on still in California, and it's only going to escalate. It's not going to get any better for these Babylonians. But those who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, we know exactly what's happening, and that's the world, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, visiting the same world that he created. Let me keep going. There will be earthquakes. We just recently heard about an earthquake not too long ago. National rebellions. There's rebellions in Croatia. There's rebellions all over the world, and it's only going to wax worse over time. Also in China, when you look at the Moabites, they had to, not the Moabites, Slovakia, it was the South Koreans. They had to arrest their president because he was doing something that was contrary to the good of the South Korean people, and they were not okay with that. So they had to check him and put him under arrest, and they did that. Why did they do that? Because it goes against the quote-unquote South Korean national pride of the Ammonites. And shalom to Tahamwam Lab, and shalom to brother Angel Padilla, Kabak Shana, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Brakatah, brothers. Shalom, man. Again, there will be earthquakes, national rebellions, international intrigues, unstable leaders, and that's exactly who's ruling right now in Babylon the Great. An unstable leader, and then you're going to have another unstable leader, Nero, aka Donald Trump. He's going to soon be in office in 5 days from now via the inauguration. And they're both unstable leaders. They're both out of their minds. They don't believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, so therefore they're going to remain unstable. They're going to be swaying to and fro. They're not going to keep like in line with the laws of the land, which they supposedly uphold in society, which is not the case. The Constitution is now a piece of paper that you can wipe with your ass right now. We all know this right now. If you look at how this country was established and how they wanted the quote-unquote lesser form of government in Babylon the Great, that's not exactly what's going on. There's so much more government intrusion in people's lives, and that's exactly what the founding fathers did not want. Via like John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, they didn't want what's going on here today. If they were to be here today, let's say we were to take them back from when Babylon the Great was being initiated as a country to today via a time machine, they would lose their minds at the very fact that there's so much government intrusion. And not only that, it's Edomite intrusion, which is who they are. And confused rulers. These people are so out of their goddamn minds, they can't even follow through with their own laws. Again, the Constitution. How can you respect somebody like that? When you see these things happening, you will know that they are what Yahweh, the Most High, has spoken about since the beginning of creation, since the very beginning. The beginning and the end of everything that happens in this world are clear, and it's clear to those who are of the elect. Adawaratazak, that's us brothers, myself included, all the Akim that I congregate with. Adawaratazak, we be the elect number that's supposed to get sealed from what's to come in the near future, because destruction And a lot of famines and a lot of pestilences, diseases are going to come upon the whole world. And it's not going to look pretty. It's going to look like a very devastating way to go out, to get put to death. The scripture says you're going to know death by pain. How much more we got to say it? But of course, the average Babylonian is so in love with the society and everything about it. So of course they don't know any better. Let's keep going. In verse 6, the same is true in the world above. Wonders and miracles show the beginning of events, and mighty signs show when they end. And we can clearly see the things that have happened in the past and currently right now in the present. We see the prophecies have already unfolded in certain parts of history, like 70 AD, all the four empires that happened to us and we were in captive, literally under. Now we're going to see even more prophecies unfold, and that's going to be the mark of the beast, which is the radio frequency identification chip, which is going to be instituted very, very, very soon upon everybody. Now, of course, throughout the whole world, there's different countries like Finland, Sweden, even parts of China and other various countries. They're responsible for actually giving certain people the radio frequency identification chip. And that's just like the quote unquote, the test subjects. And the test subjects, they're good. Now, because of those people being perfectly in line with having that radio frequency identification chip on them, now they're going to want to branch that out to the entire public, because that's the main focus. The main focus is to get everybody chipped. And that's not going to stop, because Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has already sanctioned that to happen. Let's keep going though. In 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 7 GNT. Some people will escape destruction and be saved by their good works or by their faith, and that's only the elect of the nation of Israel. It's not everybody. That's not going to happen. Contrary to popular belief, you Christians are so lost in the sauce. Y'all don't care about anything but the high praises of this false deity that y'all worship, who y'all call God. You don't even know his real name. So y'all stuck in some weirdo cult. Like, that's literally what y'all stuck on. We're going to be saved by our faith and our works. All of them will survive the dangers I have described and will enjoy the salvation provided in the land that I have set apart from eternity as my own. And those are going to be saved. That's the salvation, the redemption, the goodness that's going to come upon the earth. And that's only for the elect of the nation of Israel. Everybody else, y'all going to be literally fuel for the fire, Salakia. Why? Because the Lord has a problem with a lot of you people in this world. And let me get that actually in the book of Revelations. Because many of you deserve to be utterly, like, completely annihilated out of existence. This is Revelation chapter 9, verse 18. Let me check the NLT if it packs a punch, because the current translations usually pack a much stronger punch. And of course it does. Let's go to verse 17. And in my vision, I saw the horses and the riders sitting on them. The riders wore armor that was fiery, red and dark blue and yellow. The horses had heads like lions, and fire and smoke and burning sulfur billowed from their mouths. 1/3 of all the people on earth were killed by these three plagues, by the fire and smoke and burning sulfur that came from the mouths of the horses. That's talking about the nuclear missiles that's going to hit Babylon the Great. And then after the missiles get hit and they have performed their target as usual, tsunamis are going to happen, earthquakes are going to happen. It's going to be so much disasters. It's going to be nearly impossible to be alive. And only a small remnant of people are going to be saved from those things to come in the near future. Verse 19, their power was in their mouths and in their tails, for their tails had heads like snakes, with the power to injure people. You see that? And you're not going to escape that. You're going to let's say you do happen to survive by some miraculous means, which in the scriptures it does talk about that. You're going to be set up. If you are a heathen, you're going to be completely put in chattel slavery soon enough. That's your future destiny. All those who wanted to go against the nation of Israel, get ready. Let's keep going though. There's a lot of meat. But the people who did not die in these plagues still refused to repent of their evil deeds and to turn to Yahweh. They continued to worship demons and idols made of gold, silver, bronze, stone, and wood, idols that can neither see nor walk, and they did not repent of their murders or their witchcraft or their sexual immorality or their thefts. And that's for everybody who think they got away with sinning in the sight of the Heavenly Father. Y'all are sadly mistaken, because you can't escape the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Nobody can. Let's get that, actually. You really think you can escape Yahweh Bashim Yahushai? Get the fuck out of here. You are sadly mistaken. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7, the NLT. Don't be misled. You cannot mock the justice of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. You will always harvest what you plant. You are always going to reap what you sow. Everybody believes in that. Everybody knows that if you do something that's quote unquote good, it's going to come back to you sevenfold or whatever. If you do something that's evil in the sight of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, it's going to come right back right upon you. That's literally the law of the quote unquote universe, as people would say. And let me get this too, to solidify my point, because judgments and the amount of people that are alive today, there's over 8 billion people as a quote, no, it's not 8 billion. There's like over 8 trillion people on this earth, if I'm not mistaken. You know what? Just for edification's sake, let's figure out how many people are alive. According to Esau Edom, there's 8 billion people alive, and that's in 2023. That's a lot of people, and it's only increasing. And the reason for that is because they're all supposed to get the judgment from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which is either nuclear missiles, a famine, a race war. There's going to be a multitude of different ways to die in their upcoming future. Because a lot of you people think Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is a joke, when he's not a joke. He's a real living God. And he was called a terrible demon-like power in the ancient world. And y'all seem to have forgotten that. It's unfortunate, but you have to learn death by pain. Even our people who think everything's a freaking joke. Again, we see everything for what it is. Let me get this in the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and 18. I console thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. And that eye salve is that spiritual eye to see everything for truly what it is. We see that the dollar is literally deteriorating in terms of value over time, and it's literally gotten worse since 1913, when the Federal Reserve wanted to create this trash note that we all know of as the dollar bill. And over time, since that time, it's been what? So it's been 1913. It's been about, I'm just doing the math from the top of my head. It's been about what, 113 years. Yeah, it should be about 113 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. That the dollar bill has literally sunken in value so much. And the only reason why it has value is because of you Babylonians. It truly is just a piece of paper. But y'all place so much emphasis on it. Y'all said, nah, this is real value. When we all know in the ancient world that real value is based on your cattle, how much land you have, how many acres of land you have, gold, silver, the animals you have. But that's a thing of the past, and you Babylonians don't know what real value is. Let me get that, actually. Let's look at our ancestor Abraham. Abraham was very wealthy. Job was very wealthy. But let's look at Abraham. And that's the spirit, because I was actually reading about Abraham again and his account. This is Genesis chapter 13 and verse, let's go to 1. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle, that's 1, in silver, and in gold. Those are 3 very valuable pieces of quote unquote money. But in today's society, particularly in Babylon the Great, it's something that's not really looked upon as valuable. Kind of a debt note. Okay, yep, it's a debt note. You're literally putting yourself in a predicament to have to pay for something that's not even valuable. That's crazy. And we see that. That's just only one form of seeing the things for what they really are. The financial system, socially, people have gotten more demoralized over time. People have become more desensitized to each other. And the reason for that is very, very simple. Let's go straight to it in the NLT. Matthew 24, verse 12 in the NLT. Sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold, you see? Plain as day, because people have been so accustomed to treating Yahweh Shimei Shai as if he's someone that you can just sin easily against. And that's how Christians act by Yahweh Shimei Shai. You know, just sin upon sin, iniquity upon iniquity. Act how you want towards the Lord, and he's not going to do anything at all to you, according to Christians. You can do whatever you want, as long as you believe in that Jesus, that faggot that these people love so much, the God of no accountability. That's who Jesus is. Again, sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. And it's only getting colder. It's not getting any better. You really think in 2025 things are just going to get miraculously better all of a sudden? And you Trump heads, you Edomite Christian Babylonians, y'all are another lost cause. Y'all really think this guy's going to figure everything out somehow? And the fact that you don't know the true scriptures and the prophecies that are unfolding as we speak in Babylon the Great, and knowing this place is supposed to get destroyed by nuclear missiles, and the fact that y'all really think this is going to be, that we're going to make Babylon great again. No, we're not. It's going to fall, and it's going to fall harshly, and we can't wait for that. Let me get this from the brother, the Hamwan Blab. Sirach chapter 34 and 22. He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him, and he that defraudeth the labor of his hire is a bloodshedder. That's cold, because, and that's also spiritual. I was just watching a video about how all these Amazon workers are going into, well, it's particularly, I believe, in Pennsylvania. They're so angry at working at Amazon because they have to work very fast. They have to work overtime. They have to really put in a lot of labor for very little pay, and mistreatment at that. This is the future of Babylon. You hear that? You're working more harder to earn very little wages, very little benefits. That is the benefit of being Babylon the Great. Which is really none. I'm just joking, but this place is terrible in how they treat people economically, socially. And you really want to make this place great again? How come Nero didn't do anything back in 2016 to 2020? Why didn't he get rid of the income tax? Why didn't he get rid of all these taxes that we have to pay? All right, because he's just controlled opposition. But y'all don't know that. You lost Babylonian Christian Trumpers are a lost cause too. And your godforsaken Edomite piece of shit of a president that's coming soon in 5 days, he's not going to do anything for you. He's just a puppet like everybody else. Let's keep going. Verse 23. When one buildeth and another pulleth down, what profit have they then but labor? Exactly. You don't get any benefit. You just worked for no fruit of labor. You just worked for free. And you just look at Genesis, where was Adam supposed to work for free? No, they're supposed to get the fruits of your labor. But Babylon, they love to overwork people for very little pay. And this is the future that y'all want. This is exactly what y'all want to bring up, so to speak. So we can see in everything, economically, socially, morally, every aspect of Babylon the Great and the way this world is currently being ran is terrible, and it needs to be abolished. And with that, I'm going to close out and say, Kol Halayim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Say yet again, Shalom to the elected nation of Israel, Mawaf Lababal, which is death to Babylon the Great. You brothers and your sisters continue to believe. Shalom.